Good morning to all of you. Myself, Dr. Sandeep Kotwal. I am Senior Assistant Professor of Botany at Government Degree College, Bhadrawa. Today, the topic of my presentation is carbon fixation. So, let's start the topic. Carbon fixation or carbon assimilation by plants and other photosynthetic organisms is a very important event in the global carbon cycle. It is the process by which inorganic carbon, particularly in the form of carbon dioxide, is converted to organic compounds by living organisms. The compounds are then used to store energy and as structure for other biomolecules. The most prominent example of carbon fixation is photosynthesis. The general principle of carbon fixation is that some cells, under certain conditions, can take inorganic carbon, that is carbon dioxide, and reduce it to a usable cellular form. Green plants can take up carbon dioxide and produce oxygen in a process known as photosynthesis. The energy carriers, that is the ATP and NADPH, which are utilized during the carbon fixation, they are produced in the light reactions. In photosynthesis, the plant cell uses the ATP and NADPH formed during photophosphorylation to reduce carbon dioxide to sugar, especially glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate, in which they are called the dark reactions. Organisms that can obtain all of their required carbon from an inorganic carbon source are referred to as autotrophs, while those organisms that require organic form of carbon such as glucose or amino acids are referred to as heterotrophs. The biological pathway that leads to carbon fixation is called the Calvin cycle and is a reductive pathway which leads to reduction of carbon dioxide to glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate. Plants fix carbon primarily into three different types according to the different carbon atom which is formed, the first stable carbon atom. So they are categorized into C3 plants, C4 plants and CAM plants, which are based on the carbon dioxide capturing and then the formation of first stable carbon product. In C3 plants, the 3-phosphoglycerate is a first stable compound, whereas in C4 and CAM plants, the first stable carbon compound is a oxaloacetate. C3 plants are those plants which show the Calvin cycle and the C3 type of carbon fixation. The Calvin cycle is also known as Calvin-Benson cycle, Blackman reaction cycle, reductive pentose phosphate cycle, dark reaction cycle, or photosynthetic carbon reduction cycle of photosynthesis, etc. Though it is called the dark reaction, but the Calvin cycle does not actually occur in the dark or during night time. This is because the process requires reduced NADP, which is short lived and comes from the light dependent reactions. In the dark, plants instead release sucrose into the phloem from their starch reserves to provide energy for the plant. The Calvin cycle thus happens when light is available independent of the kind of photosynthesis. The Calvin cycle in which carbon is fixed, reduced and utilized involves the formation of intermediate sugar phosphate in a cyclic sequence. This is the picture which is depicting that during the light reaction, the energy is harnessed from the sun to produce chemical bonds like ATP and NADPH. These energy carrying molecules are made in the stroma where carbon fixation takes place. This is the another depiction how the ATP and NADPH they are produced and then how they are utilized in the Calvin cycle. The Calvin cycle is composed of three stages and they are carboxylation, the reduction and the regeneration. Stage 1 carboxylation that is the carbon fixation. In the stroma of plant chloroplast, in addition to carbon dioxide, two other components are present to initiate the light independent reactions. An enzyme called ribulose 1,5-biphosphate, that is the Rubisco enzyme, and three molecules of ribulose biphosphate. Ribulose 1,5-biphosphate is composed of 5 carbon atom and includes 2 phosphate. Rubisco catalyzes a reaction between carbon dioxide and the RuBP. For each carbon dioxide molecule that reacts with one RuBP, two molecules of another compound, that is 3-PGA phosphoglycerate, they are formed. PGA has 3 carbon atoms and 1 phosphate. Each turn of the cycle involves only one RuBP and one carbon dioxide and forms 2 molecules of 3-PGA. The number of carbon atoms remains the same. As the atoms move to form new bonds during the reaction, that is 3 atoms from 3 carbon dioxide plus 15 atoms from 3 RuBP, they gives 18 atoms in 3 atoms of 3-PGA. This process is called carbon fixation because carbon dioxide is fixed from an inorganic form into an organic molecule. This reaction occurs 3 times during each complete turn of the cycle. The 6 molecules of PGA, they are produced. The initial incorporation of carbon dioxide, which is catalyzed by the enzyme ribulose 1,5-biphosphate carboxylase, proceeds by the addition of carbon dioxide to the 5 carbon compound ribulose 1,5-biphosphate and the splitting of the resulting 6 carbon compounds into 2 molecules of PGA. This reaction occurs 3 times during each complete turn of the cycle. The 6 molecules of PGA are produced. The second stage is the reduction stage. ATP and NADPH are used to convert the 6 molecules of 3-PGA into 6 molecules of a chemical called glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, a carbon compound that is also found in glycolysis. 6 molecules of both ATP and NADPH are used in the process. The exergonic process of ATP hydrolysis is in effect driving the endergonic redox reactions, creating ADP and NADP. Both these spent molecules, ADP and NADP, return to the nearby light dependent reactions to be recycled back into ATP and NADP. The 6 molecules of PGA, they are first phosphorylated with ATP by the enzyme PGA kinase, yielding 6 molecules of 1,3-diphosphoglycerate, that is DPGA. These molecules are subsequently reduced by NADPH and the enzyme glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase to give 6 molecules of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, that is GA3P. These reactions are the reverse of 2 steps of the process glycolysis in cellular respiration. Now, the third stage is the regeneration. Interestingly, at this point, only one of the G3P molecule leaves the Calvin cycle to contribute to the formation of other compounds needed by the organism. In plants, because the G3P exported from the Calvin cycle has 3 carbon atoms, it takes 3 turns of the Calvin cycle to fix enough net carbon to export one G3P. But each turn makes 2 G3Ps, thus 3 turns makes 6 G3Ps. One is exported while the remaining 5 G3P molecules remain in the cycle and are used to regenerate RuBP, which enables the system to prepare for more carbon dioxide to be fixed. 3 more molecules of ATP are used in this regeneration reaction. For each complete Calvin-Benson cycle, one of the G3P molecule with its 3 carbon atom is the net product and may be transferred out of the chloroplast or converted to starch into the chloroplast. For the cycle to regenerate, the other 5 G3P molecules with a total of 15 carbon atom must be converted back to 3 molecules of 5 carbon RuBP. The conversion of G3P to RuBP begins with a complex series of enzymatically regulated reactions that leads to the synthesis of 5 carbon compound ribulose 5-phosphate. The 3 molecules of RU5P are converted to carboxylation substrate RUBP by the enzyme phosphoribulose using ATP. So this is the regeneration third step of carbon fixation. When we are talking about the regulation of the cycle, then photosynthesis cannot occur at night, but the respiratory process of glycolysis, which uses some of the same reactions as the Calvin-Benz cycle except in the reverse, does take place. Thus some steps in this cycle would be wasteful if allowed to occur in the dark, because they would counteract the reactions of glycolysis. For this reason, some enzymes of the Calvin cycle are turned off or become inactive in the dark. Even in the presence of light, changes in physiological conditions frequently necessitate adjustments in the relative rates of reactions of the Calvin-Benzel cycle, so that enzymes for some reactions change in their catalytic activity. These alterations in enzyme activity typically are brought about by changes in levels of such chloroplast components as reduced ferredoxin, acids and soluble components like phosphorus and magnesium ions. The products of carbon reduction, the most important use of G3P in its export from the chloroplast to the cytosol of green cells, where it is used for biosynthesis of products needed by the plant. In land plants, a principal product is sucrose, which is translocated from the green cells of the leaves to other parts of the plant. Other key products include the carbon skeletons of certain primarily amino acids such as alanine, glutamate and aspartate. To complete the synthesis of these compounds, amino acids are added to the appropriate carbon skeleton made from G3P. Sulfur amino acids such as cysteine are formed by adding sulfur hydryl group and amino group. Other biosynthesis pathway lead from G3P to lipids, pigments and most of the constituents of green cells. So we can sum up like what are the products of C3 cycle, and they are: one molecule of carbon is fixed in each turn of the Calvin cycle, and one molecule of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is created in 3 turns of the Calvin cycle. 2 molecules of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate combine together to form 1 glucose molecule. 3 ATP and 2 NADPH molecules are used during the reduction of 3-phosphoglyceric acid to glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate and the regeneration of RUBP, and a total of 18 ATP and 12 NADPH are consumed in the production of 1 glucose molecule. So the key points of Calvin cycle, they are: C3 cycle refers to the dark reaction of photosynthesis. It is indirectly dependent on light, and essential energy carriers are products of light dependent reactions. In the first stage of Calvin cycle, the light independent reactions are initiated and carbon dioxide is fixed. In the second stage of C3 cycle, ATP and NADPH they are reduced. They reduce 3-PGA to glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, that is G3P. ATP and NADPH are then converted to ADP and NADP. In the last stage, RUBP is regenerated. This helps in more carbon dioxide fixation. So this is all about the Calvin cycle, and Calvin cycle is the most important cycle on this earth. Now let's move to the C4 cycle or C4 plants. The C4 plants are those plants which show the Hatch and Slack cycle, that is the C4 type of carbon fixation. This cycle is also known as Hatch and Slack cycle, dicarboxylic acid cycle, beta carboxylation pathway, cooperative photosynthesis, etc. It was first of all discovered by M.D. Hatch and C.R. Slack in 1966, that some plants, when supplied with radioactive carbon dioxide, they incorporate the C14 carbon level into 4 carbon molecule, which is known as the oxaloacetate. They are shown in the tropical plants like the sugarcane and corn, as well as other diverse species that are thought to have expanded their geographical ranges into tropical areas and have developed a special mechanism of carbon fixation that largely prevents photorespiration. In particular, photosynthetic pigments, photosynthetic functions are divided into mesophyll and bundle sheath leaf cells, and they show the Crane's anatomy. And Crane's anatomy is that the bundle sheath cell remains surrounded by one or more wreath-like layers of mesophyll cells. So this is the Kranz anatomy. This is a internal feature of C3 plant. No such Kranz anatomy, but in it the Kranz anatomy is shown. The vascular bundles, whereas the bundle sheath, they are surrounded by one or two layers of mesophyll cells. The carbon fixation pathway begins in the mesophyll cells, where carbon dioxide is converted into bicarbonate, which is then added to the 3-carbon acid, that is the phosphoenol pyruvate, by an enzyme called phosphoenol pyruvate carboxylase. Let's have a look on this schematic representation of Hagen-Schleck cycle. In this cycle, the carbon dioxide, it gets first of all converted into the bicarbonate, and then here instead of Rubisco, the phosphoenol pyruvate, that is PEP, it captures that carbon, and with the help of an enzyme phosphoenol pyruvate carboxylate, then it converts that into a 4-carbon acid, which is known as oxaloacetic acid. The oxaloacetic acid is then, it comes inside the chloroplast, and then here it is converted into the, that is reduced into the malate, another 4-carbon acid. Then this malate is then transported to bundle sheath cell, into the chloroplast. There malate enters the chloroplast and is oxidized and decarboxylated, that is, it loses the carbon dioxide by malic enzyme. This yields high concentration of carbon dioxide, which is fed into the Calvin cycle. This malate is then also converted into the pyruvate, a 3-carbon acid, that is translocated back to the mesophyll. In the mesophyll chloroplast, the enzyme pyruvate orthophosphate dikinase, that is PPDK, it uses ATP and PI to convert pyruvate back to the PEP, that is phosphoenol pyruvate, which completes the C4 cycle. The carbon dioxide, which is released here, it is captured by the Rubisco in the bundle sheath cells, and then it again show the Calvin cycle, that is C3 type of carbon fixation. So this is all about the C4 cycle. The C4 pathway acts as a mechanism to build up high concentration of carbon dioxide in the chloroplast of the bundle sheath cells. The resulting higher level of internal carbon dioxide in these chloroplasts serve to increase the ratio of carboxylation to oxygenation, thus minimizing photorespiration. Although the plants must expend extra energy to drive this mechanism, the energy loss is more than compensated by the near elimination of photorespiration under conditions where it would otherwise occur. So in C4 plants, 30 ATP and 12 NADPH, they are required as assimilatory power for one glucose synthesis. Now let's move to the another cycle, and this cycle is shown by the CAM plants, that is crassulacean acid metabolism plants. And CAM plants are those plants which show the diurnal pattern of organic acid formation and are hence known to show CAM cycle or the CAM cycle. This pathway is named after the crassulacean, a family in which many species display this type of metabolism, but it also occurs commonly in other families such as the Cactaceae, the Euphorbiaceae, the Orchidaceae, the Liliaceae, the Asclepiadaceae, and so on. CAM species number more than 34 families and more than 20,000 species. They are also shown by the Welwitschia, a gymnosperm, the quillworts, the ferns, etc. CAM plants are known for their capacity to fix carbon dioxide at night using PEP carboxylase as the primary carboxylating enzyme, and the accumulation of malate, which is made by the enzyme malate dehydrogenase in the large vacuole of their cells. Deacidification occurs during the day when carbon dioxide is released from the malate and fixed in the Kelvin-Benson cycle using Rubisco. So this is the schematic representation. During night, when stomata are open, carbon dioxide is fixed through the action of PEP carboxylase, that is phosphoenol pyruvate, to first of all to the oxaloacetic acid with the help of an enzyme PEP carboxylase. Then this oxaloacetic acid, it gets converted into the malate with the help of the enzyme which is known as NAD, malic dehydrogenase. With the use of this NADH, this malate gets converted into the malic acid and it is stored in the vacuole. During day, when the stomata are closed, the malic acid, it comes into the again in the cytosol where it is converted into the malate again. The malate then enters the chloroplast where it is converted into the pyruvate. During this process, the carbon dioxide is released and this carbon dioxide is captured by the Rubisco in the chloroplast, and then it again shows the C3 cycle of carbon fixation. The pyruvate is converted into the starch. So we can say that the CAM plants, this shows the cycle which is completed in two steps. In the first step, phosphoenol pyruvic acid fixes carbon dioxide and is converted into oxaloacetic acid. In the second step, oxaloacetic acid is subsequently converted into malic acid by the enzyme malic dehydrogenase. The leaves of CAM plants also contain enzymes of Calvin cycle. The carbon dioxide fixed in the malic acid during dark period is ultimately converted to hexoses or other carbohydrates during light period. This is the schematic comparative representation of C3 and C4 plants. Like carbon dioxide is fixed in the mesophyll and it is directly converted by different steps to the glucose. But in C4 plants, in the mesophyll, the carbon dioxide is captured, then it is released in the bundle sheath cells, and then it is captured by the Calvin cycle. In CAM plants, during night the carbon dioxide is fixed and during day the carbon dioxide is released inside the chloroplast and then it is captured by the Calvin cycle. So we can say that Calvin cycle is found in all the photosynthetic plants, whereas C4 cycle is found only in certain tropical plants. The efficiency of carbon dioxide absorption at low concentration is far less, so they are less efficient, that is C3 plants are less efficient, whereas the C4 plants are more efficient. In C3 plants, the carbon dioxide acceptor is ribulose 1,5-biphosphate, whereas in CAM plants and C4 plants, the carbon dioxide acceptor is phosphoenol pyruvate. The first stable product in C3 cycle is phosphoglyceric acid, whereas oxaloacetic acid is the first stable product, carbon product in the C4 plants and CAM plants. All cells participate in photosynthesis have one type of stomata in C3 plants, whereas the chloroplast of parenchymatic bundle sheath cell is different from that of mesophyll cell, that is they show dimorphic type in the C4 plants. The chloroplast in bundle sheath cells are centripetally arranged and Lagrena leaves Shokran's type of anatomy in C4 plants. The carbon dioxide compensation point is 50 to 150 ppm carbon dioxide in C3 plants, whereas when the concentration is low, that is 0 to 10 ppm, even the carbon dioxide is fixed in the C4 plants. Photorespiration is present and easily detectable in C3 plants, whereas photorespiration is present only to a slight degree or it is absent in C3 or C4 plants. So let's move to the photorespiration and another important topic. Photorespiration is also known as C2 cycle or PCO cycle, that is the photorespiratory carbon oxidation cycle or glycolate pathway. The light dependent uptake of oxygen and release of carbon dioxide by some plants is called photorespiration. Krotkow in 1963 first of all introduced this term. The process is carried out only in the presence of light. It has been reported only in green cells of C3 plants, such as in case of beta, Phaseolus, Gossypium, Pisum, Capsicum, Petunia, Glycine, etc. Photorespiration rate being very high in between 25 to 35 degrees Celsius. The process is dependent upon the concentration of oxygen, that is when oxygen concentration is high, then it shows the photorespiration and it goes on increases with higher concentration of oxygen even up to 100%. RUBP, that is ribulose 1,5 biphosphate enzyme, it is an important enzyme in C3 cycle, but it is a dual enzyme. That is also shows the oxygenase activity as well as the carboxylase activity. When carbon dioxide concentration is high, it shows the carboxylase activity and it shows the Calvin cycle as described earlier, whereas when oxygen concentration is high, it shows the oxygenase activity and then it shows the C2 cycle or the photorespiration. Now the steps in photorespiration. Photorespiration begins in the chloroplast when rubisco attaches oxygen to RUBP in its oxygenase reaction. This is the schematic representation of various steps in photorespiration. Three different organelles they are involved in photorespiration: the chloroplast, the peroxisome and the mitochondria. During the initial step, that is when rubisco attaches oxygen, then two different molecules are produced. Here the two different molecules are a 3-carbon phosphoglyceric acid, that is 3-PGA, and a 2-carbon phosphoglycolic acid. PGA is a normal intermediate of the Calvin cycle, but phosphoglycolate cannot enter the cycle, so its 2 carbons are removed or stolen from the cycle. To recover some of the lost carbon, plants put phosphoglycolate through a series of reactions that involves transport between various organelles, and they are chloroplast, peroxisome and mitochondria. 3/4 of the carbon that enters this pathway as phosphoglycolate is recovered, while 1/4 is lost as carbon dioxide. In the process, phosphoglycolic acid is easily converted into glycolic acid in a subsequent dephosphorylation reaction, which act as a substrate for photorespiration. Glycolic acid is transported to peroxisome. So this is the glycolate or the glycolic acid. This glycolate is converted into glyoxylic acid, that is glyoxylate, in presence of the enzyme glycolate oxidase. In the reaction, hydrogen peroxide is also formed, from which is destroyed by the enzyme catalase into oxygen and water. In the next step, glyoxylic acid, that is the glyoxylate, is converted into glycine in the presence of an enzyme glutamate glyoxylate aminotransferase. Glycine is transported to mitochondria via cytoplasm. The three organelles chloroplast, peroxisome and mitochondria show close spatial relationship in their occurrence. That is why transportation between them becomes a simple process. In mitochondria, the two glycine molecules react to produce one molecule each of serine, carbon dioxide and NH3. So at this place, light induced carbon dioxide is liberated and it gets lost. The ammonia released by mitochondria is assimilated by the chloroplast within the same cell. Serine is then transported out of mitochondria and into the peroxisome, where it is converted to pyruvic acid and glyceric acid. Glyceric acid is transported of the peroxisome into chloroplast, where it is phosphorylated by ATP to glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate, which is ultimately used in photosynthetic carbon reduction cycle, that is the C3 cycle. Thus, the overall process becomes a cyclic series of reaction and may be called photorespiratory carbon oxidation cycle. The black coloration here shows the translocator of known identity, green shows the translocator of unknown identity, and these vital like are porin like channels of unknown identity. The significance of photorespiration. Photorespiration is generally considered a non-essential or wasteful process in plants, as most of the C3 plants have to pass through the cycle to form carbohydrates such as sucrose, resulting in considerable decrease of photosynthetic efficiency and productivity. During photorespiration in mitochondria, neither reduced coenzymes are generated nor the oxidation of glycolate is coupled with the formation of ATP molecules, unlike in respiration. Moreover, there is consumption of reduced coenzyme and ATP in the PCO cycle. Photorespiration, it acts as a scavenger. So it helps in dissipation of energy where stomata get closed during daytime because of water stress. So photorespiration protects the plants from photooxidative damage by dissipating excess of excitation energy. It is assumed that in C3 plants, if photorespiration does not occur, it will increase oxygen concentration, which oxidizes the different protoplasmic parts of photosynthetic cell at high light intensity. Scientists are now thinking to prevent photorespiration in C3 plants and to increase photosynthetic productivity on other lines, such as to develop a mechanism for concentrating carbon dioxide in the photosynthetic cell. So this is all about the different topics discussed with you. I am very thankful to all of you. A man does not plant a tree for himself. He plants it for posterity, that is for future generation. So plants are very important, maybe in one form or the other forms. They are giving us the oxygen, they are giving us the food, they are giving us the clothing, they are giving us the feed, the shelter, the wood, etc. So we cannot say that, we cannot deny this fact that we can live without plants. And in plants, the C3 cycle is very important, which is present in all the plants, whereas C4 cycle and CAM cycle, it is present in few plants, restricted to few tropical regions. So grow more plants for the survival of the mankind, for the survival of this environment. Thank you for the patient hearing. Thanks a lot.